Chapter 7. As Terrence drove them back to Iron Goddess, Shea replayed their confrontation with Oscar in her head. Was he telling the truth? Maybe it was the Confederate Thunder who'd broken in and shot Derek. But Oscar was hiding something. She could feel it. "Do the Jaguars have a clubhouse somewhere?" she asked. Terrence stared at the road ahead without glancing at her.
"Give it a rest."
"Dude, we gotta figure out who shot Derek and stole our bikes and teach them a lesson."
No, we don't. I'm not throwing away everything I've worked for over this. Let the cops handle it.
This guy, Oscar, shook you up, didn't he? I'm sorry he found out you're trans. He pounded the steering wheel so hard she thought it would break.
I don't give a damn what Oscar thinks about me being trans.
Then what are you so pissed about?
You, Shea. I didn't want to go there in the first place, and then you pull a gun in a restaurant?
He whacked the steering wheel again.
What were you thinking?
You're overreacting, seriously.
God damn it, you pulled a gun! They could throw us back in prison for that. You have any idea what a fucking nightmare that was for me?
It wasn't no picnic for me either, and I did twice the time you did.
Not the same. Trans people die in prison. Everyone wants to fuck with you.
She hadn't thought about that. Look, man, I'm sorry.
Don't be fucking sorry, Shea. Sorry won't keep my black ass out of prison when you do something stupid. And this time, it won't be women's prison. I'm legally male now, so they'll send me to men's lockup. How you think that'll play out?
All right, I get it. I'll let the cops handle it, okay? Terrence grunted. Come on, at least look at me, she pleaded. He grunted again.
I'm driving.
She pulled out her Zippo and started flicking it. Terrence grabbed it from her hand and threw it out the window. Hey, Lenny gave me that. He didn't say anything. Damn, T, you seriously need to get laid. Terrence parked the truck behind Iron Goddess. He hadn't said another word the rest of the way back. Shea followed him through the shop's back door, still marked with pieces of the crime scene sticker from that morning. The workshop looked as it had before the robbery. Tool chests and other equipment were all where they should be. A few bikes were on lifts in various stages of assembly. Switch and Lakota were wiring up a large cruiser. Terrence stomped through the workshop to the office, slamming the door behind him. "How'd it go at your business meeting?" Lakota asked. A grease smudge marked her cheek. Shea shook her head and scowled. Lakota shrugged and returned to her work. Shea walked past the office to the showroom. Monica stood with a clipboard taking inventory of what remained on the shelves. The showroom looked as empty as before, but Monica had cleared the floor of debris and put the remaining merchandise back where it belonged. "Was that Terrence slamming the office door?" Monica asked. "Yeah, he and I are having a disagreement." "So he slams the office door? Guess I don't need to ask how your meeting went." Shea smirked. "How's the inventory coming?" "Just finishing up." Monica flipped to the front page of her list. "Looks like the thieves got 9 production bikes, the 3 Pink Trinkets customs, 22 helmets, 4 GoPro cameras, a couple of intercom sets, 17 pairs of boots, and 20 jackets. Not including the Trinks bikes, wholesale cost for the stolen inventory comes to $160,000. Fuck. Shea ran a hand through her hair. "Any news on who might have done this?" Monica asked. "An old acquaintance of mine thinks the Jaguars did it." "Oh, shit! The Jags?" Monica dropped her pen as her eyes widened with fear. "Is that what Terrence is pissed about?" "Terrence and me met with a Jaguar he used to know. Things got a little heated." "Please tell me you're kidding." "Don't worry about it, Mon. It's no big deal." Shea grabbed the inventory list from her and pretended to look through it. "No big deal. Those psychos killed my cousins. You didn't do anything to piss that guy off, did you?" "I gotta call the insurance company." Shea walked away. Monica trailed her. "Oh, shit. You didn't you? That's why Terrence is all pissed off. I'm right, aren't I?" "Isn't it time for your break?" A loud crash from the office startled them both. "What the hell was that?" Monica asked. Sounded like Terrence's desk chair hitting the wall. Through the window, Shea could see Terrence standing in the far corner of the office, with his arms crossed, glaring at the floor. "My purse is in there. How can I go on break with Terrence throwing shit around?" Shea handed Monica a 20. "Grab a bite to eat next door. He should be cooled off by the time you get back. Monica strolled to the front door, the silver bell tinkling as she opened it. Hey, Shea? Yeah. I hope Derek makes it. Yeah, me too. At the sales counter, Shea studied the inventory list. The thieves had gone after the more high-end merchandise, ignoring the cheap stuff. Clearly someone who knows motorcycle gear. A few Thundermen did on occasion buy oil or the odd motorcycle part from Iron Goddess. She'd never gotten the impression they were casing the place. The MC made most of their money selling crystal meth. Had they added burglary to their list of ways to earn? It was worth checking out. She just had to do it without ruffling any feathers. If her sister really had married the Confederate Thunder's current president, she might know whether they had hit Iron Goddess. Her jaw clenched thinking of Wendy and the way she had betrayed Mama's memory. The idea of calling her made Shea sick, but Derek deserved justice, and she needed to get the pink trinket spikes back. 17 years had passed since they'd seen each other. Who knew if Wendy would even talk to her? With no other leads, Shea picked up the phone to call Willie.
Cortez County Sheriff's Office, Sergeant William Foster speaking.
Willie, it's Shea. You got Wendy's number?
I thought you didn't want to have nothing to do with her.
Yeah, well, you got me thinking. Maybe it's time she and I patched things up. She's the only family I got left, after all.
Well, her and your father.
Her body tensed. Please don't mention that son of a bitch.
Sorry,
he said.
Listen, I'm not supposed to give information to civilians. This is a sheriff's office, not directory assistance. You try looking Wendy up on the web?
Willie, be a pal and look it up on your computer. She's my sister, for Christ's sakes. I ain't stalking her or nothing. Computer keys clicked on Willie's end.
She might not have a number in our system unless she's got a record.
She's married to the president of the Confederate Thunder. She's bound to have been picked up for something. Speeding, shoplifting.
Grand Theft Auto,
he added. Shea rolled her eyes. You're hilarious.
Just kidding. She's in here, but nothing as exciting as your rap sheet.
Damn it! Does she have a phone number in there or not?
Yeah, she does.
He gave her the number. What's on her rap sheet? How had Wendy turned out after a lifetime with the club? Shea wondered.
Domestic disturbance. Guess her husband used her face for a punching bag a time or two. I shouldn't be telling you this.
Domestic disturbance, huh? Imagine that. History does repeat itself. Shea almost felt sorry for her. Almost.
You can't tell her I told you. I could lose my badge.
Yeah, I won't. Thanks for your help, Willie.
Hope the two of you can mend fences.
Yeah, we'll see. Before she hung up, he interjected.
Oh, Shea, you wouldn't know anything about a disturbance at Tres Olivos, would you?
Shit. Tres Olivos?
Mexican restaurant up in Ironwood.
Haven't heard a thing.
Uh-huh. I got a report about a white female and a black male causing a ruckus there a little bit ago. Place is connected with the Jaguar Street Gang. The sheriff's office may not be the only ones looking for these two troublemakers, if you get my drift.
I get your drift.
We'll find out who shot Derek. We don't need you doing our jobs for us.
Good to know you're on the case. Later, Willie. She hung up. As Shea stared at the paper with Wendy's number, her heart pounded in her chest so hard her vision blurred. There was a whole lot of shit from her childhood she didn't want to remember. Reconnecting with Wendy could bring back a flood of painful memories, and she still couldn't forgive her sister for her last betrayal. The office door opened. Terrence clomped through the showroom. He always seemed bigger when he was angry. Yo, T, I'm sorry for earlier. He paused a moment, staring at her with a blank face, until the front door jingled. Monica walked in. Hey, Terrence, feeling better? He smiled at her.
A bit.
He left without another glance at Shea. Clearly I'm still on his shit list, Shea thought. Good to see Terrence has cooled off, Monica said. Uh-huh. Time to see what Terrence had destroyed. In the office, a dent the size of a fist now decorated one wall. A caster from Terrence's chair occupied a corner on the floor. The chair itself sat cockeyed behind his desk. No other obvious signs of damage. Shea sat in her chair, the Glock pressing against her spine. Don't need that sticking in my back while I'm dealing with this crap. Shea pulled it out and locked it in her desk drawer. Her fingers drummed on the wooden desk as she stared at her sister's phone number. This is ridiculous. She could race her bike through twisties at breakneck speed, play bumper cars with semis on the highway, and go toe-to-toe with a Mexican gangbanger. But calling her own sister scared her shitless. What the fuck is wrong with me? She forced her fingers to dial the number, the phone trembling next to her ear. It rang 4 times before a voice that sounded like Mama said, "Hi, you've reached Wendy. Leave a message." Her mouth felt like flypaper. After an awkward pause, she said, "Wendy, it's Shea. I need to talk to you." She left her number and hung up. A wave of nausea pulled at her stomach. She forced herself to take slow, deep breaths, but it worsened until she dry heaved over the plastic trash can by her desk. After a few moments, her stomach settled. At least she'd left a message. Now there was nothing to do but wait for Wendy to call her back.